Good morning, everyone. So we made it into the new year. We have made it into the new year. So here's what I just want to say. Welcome back to the morning talks. I have some announcements this morning, just brief announcements that this year coming in 2022, I'll be coming on just on Monday mornings. And hopefully what I have to say will help you through the week. I realize that a lot of people get up in the mornings and they're trying to move around and they got things to do, and as well as myself. And another thing, I realized that my health calls for paying some attention to it. So I will be starting this year coming on only on Mondays. Okay. Also, I'm still trying to get confirmation on guests to come on to the podcast. So right now I'm looking at January 26th, I believe that is. That'll be the last Wednesday of January. So I'm in the process of that. And again, I realize that people have a lot of things going on. People have to look at their schedules to see what it is that they can do, whether or not they can come on or when they can come on. So I know generally the podcast is scheduled for 6:30 on Wednesdays, but it will be coming. It's just the fact that I have to get confirmations from those who I have invited. So that's where that stands right now. Again, I just listen to God for directions and do as guided. Okay, so those are a few things I want to put out there on this morning. I want to also thank everyone who sent me gifts. It was very heart touching. I'm truly thankful. I'm thankful for the words of encouragement and inspiration that some of you sent to me. I'm very thankful, because you don't have to support what I do, and there are other people out there doing a lot of this same type of work, but you also support me while supporting them, and I'm grateful. So without any further ado, I want to just stop in this morning and just talk to you just for a moment of being careful with people. Being careful with people because we don't know what chapter people are in their lives. None of us know. I don't know what chapter you are in your life. You don't know what chapter I'm in my life. So we got to be careful on how we treat one another, how we talk to one another. Just overall, we must respect and support others because we don't know what chapter that someone is in their lives. I have had several conversations with individuals over the break, and I want to say this. It helped me to realize even more, not that I didn't know, but even more, the importance, listen to me closely, the importance of mastering communication. It's important that you do it. And you're going to hear me say that throughout my morning talks. How important it is to master communication. That is something that if you're not working on it, start working on it. Because to master communication, we have to communicate in such a manner that we welcome others' ideas and opinions. Because there may be something that you or I have done in our lives and didn't realize how impactful it was on others. And sometimes people form a resistance against what you say and what I'm saying, and it can all be meant for the good, but if we don't master communication, things will just come out and never explain. They will come out and never be explained, never give no clarity to. And that's why I believe that in mastering communication and why it is so important is so that we don't find ourselves treating others' involvement in the conversations that we have as if what they say is not important. Listen, what all of us say is important to some extent, especially when you're saying something to educate or inform others, because you really want to make sure that that person on the receiving end has a clear understanding on what you are sharing in that moment. I can tell you, I had so many conversations, even people asking me to talk about and touch on different things. And they are things that I will be touching on as long as God give me the ability to do it and what to say and how to approach it. And there are things that people go through, but nobody really addresses. And it's not to come on here and play counselor or anything like that. I come on here to inspire and to encourage you through things that God lays on my heart, through things that people share who really, really want to hear somebody talk about. People have expressed to me during the break how they were excited about some things some subject titles I brought up, but they were all for inspiration and encouragement. And this is why this morning when I come on, I'm saying to you, as I say it to myself, be careful how you handle people, because you don't know what chapter a person is in their lives. A person can be at a breaking point. And what if you come along and say that thing that really causes that person to snap and to lose it all? What if you say something that, really that person just needed for one person to say that they believed in their dreams and in their goals, and you come along and you crush that? See, you don't know what chapter that person is in their life. Some people, even though we're in another year, doesn't mean that people stop going through things. We right now back dealing with a virus. Seems like everybody's catching it. The Omicron. We going back to first base. And believe it or not, all of us got somebody in our families that's experiencing it one way or the other. They might not have a strong case of it, but they got it. And let me tell you something. When people dealing with stuff like that, you can say what you want to. Things start turning in your head. You start thinking about stuff, and number one thing, you know what people are thinking about? Thinking about death. I don't want this thing to take me. See, you don't know what chapter somebody's in. Not only that, financial situations. People are facing some dire financial situations. You can't just say people don't want nothing. Everybody wants something. They just might not have the means to get it. And the thing of it is that if we're going to sit and pass judgment all the time, but never help somebody, shame on us. You can't save the world. I can't save the world. But we can respect what others are going through today. Just because you can have some people, I heard a man say, it was like I had it all, like everything I touched turned to gold. And then during the time, the first beginning of the pandemic, when it was really raging, I lost it all because I lost not one job, he was working 2 jobs. He was laid off of both of them. It's not, see, but people will say, well, he just didn't want to work. No, that's not true. Him and his wife both were doing what they had to do. And she, fortunately, was a nurse, which was in demand and still is right now. So when he said it's like they lost it all, he went back and explained, when I say that, I mean as a man in the head of a household, I wasn't able to do the things and carry the load to do what I needed to do. And all that weight went on my wife. That man didn't want that to happen. And they had children, still today have children who needed all of that. And it bothered him to the point he went into depression. He now has a job, but it's not the money that he once made. But here's what I'm saying. We are too lax. We are too lax on the treatment of others. People can look like they got it all together, but all the while they're falling apart. But you don't know that. I don't know that. I myself am just as guilty as others of you listening to me this morning. And you know that there are times when you have been helping and holding other people up when you were falling apart yourself. But you were trying to hold them up. You was trying to keep everything together in them, in what was going on. We all are guilty of that. And see, that is why it is so important not only to be careful how we treat one another, because we don't know what chapter somebody is in their life when you walked in their life. They were in a chapter in their life. And that chapter could be a chapter where they was about to throw it all in because they thought it was over. But for some reason, God sent you their way. He didn't send you there to criticize them. He didn't send you there to show them how big you were. He didn't send you there to say, look at me, and then look at them, looking up at yourself and looking down at everybody else. But listen to me closely. I'm going to say this again because it's so important. And all of us need it. You got to learn to master communication. In my college career, I had to take communication classes. During my college career, when I was going for my associate, for my bachelor's, for my master's, the whole yards. Everything, at every point, every juncture, I had communication courses. And let me tell you something. I have learned the importance of mastering communication. I shared that with one of my great nephews. You got to master this thing. You got to learn how to welcome other people into the conversation that you are having, where they can settle in and know that it's going to be okay to open up about some things that they might have been afraid to express because yourself and others made them feel that way. Don't you know when you master communication, you will know when to go forth in that conversation and when to pull back just to listen. You don't take control of the conversation. Somebody's expressing their hurt and their pain, and you jump in there and start talking about what happened to you, and you make it all about you, because at that point, that person is going to shut down. Because what they see is that you don't care about what they're going through, what they're facing, how they're feeling, in their emotions, in their mental. People need genuine people to communicate with them. I'm simply saying this morning, mastering communication is something we all need to work on. All of us. To get this thing down. Because just because you said it the way that you said it doesn't make it right. Welcome somebody else into that conversation and you will find yourself, this is the truth, you will find yourself enjoying having conversations with others. You will find yourself in that state. It's not about just me. It's not about just you. It is about everyone collectively coming together. You know what? I was talking to another one of my nephews, and we were talking about the manner in which he studies on various information from different authors on the history of African Americans from all aspects. And he shared with me on lecture. I try to share that with other people, but I noticed that people reject it. And I shared with him, that's because many people, what they don't know, they don't respect. What people don't know, they don't respect. So you have to find a way to master that and go back and approach those individuals and say, look, last time when I spoke to you, maybe I wasn't clear on the way in which I was sharing or attempting to share some information that I feel or believe would be valuable to yourself when you're sharing with others. See, because you can't just go along with what people say. I'm like this. If you don't have facts to support what you are saying, why are you saying it? If you don't have facts, that's just like somebody going out there and making a statement against you and they don't even know you. They just going by what somebody else told them. You know, many of us dislike somebody because of what somebody else told us about that person. We don't even know them. But if we get to know them, I've had people tell me that. I didn't think that you were like that because from what I was told. And it happens. See, other people advertise you because when people say something about you, some people just want to come see if that's for real what they saying. Other people can advertise you to an extent that they better at advertising you than you are. Because when they advertise you, not everybody, but a lot of people, they not advertising you in a positive way. That's just like when they advertise new detergents, they put that on television, they make it as beautiful as they can. What people do, they go down there and buy it. That's like buying shoes. That's like buying clothes. Somebody got to advertise those products for you to draw the attention of the general public. So that's what happens with you, and that's what happens with me. Whenever people speak on you, speak about you, they are advertising you, whether it's a good or a bad thing that they're trying to put in the front of people. But I go back to what I shared with my nephew, and I told you on this morning, learn to master communication. Because even when people don't receive something you are saying or receive you right off, if you approach that thing differently, educate yourself, watch that person, observe how that person move, how that person communicate. Don't you know when you approach them that next time, you're going to gain more and more and more time with them because you're going to master how you communicate with them. So I'm not going to stay on here long this morning. I pray that you have a good week because, again, Mondays will be the only days that I come on live, as well as keep in mind I'm still trying to get confirmations on guests to come up on season 3. And you know what? Even if I have to change the platform on the way that is done this season and moving forward, it's whatever God says. It's whatever he shows me. That's what I will do. Because God can make changes and he don't need my permission. Because he communicate with me in such a way where I can't do nothing but respect his decision. All right? So I will see you guys on next week. I'll be posting things through the week. I got myself familiar with TikTok and stuff like that. I've been my granddaughter helped me with that tremendously during the break, and she introduced me to something called Canvas. I mean, she does a lot with that, some of the marketing pieces. She's 12 years old, but she knows a lot, and she gives me a lot of good ideas. And I like having her as a part of my team. But again, thank you guys so much again for all of your support from last year. Look here, I want you to have a wonderful year. Can you do that for me? Have a wonderful year. Do some things this year that you didn't get to do last year. Build yourself up stronger this year than you did last year. Believe in yourself more this year than you did last year, and master that communication. So not only when you are talking one-on-one with someone, master it so when you go out there and start marketing whatever it is that you're doing and advertising, whatever you're doing, ask God to show you what to do, how to do it in a manner where it is effective and actually impacting the lives of others. It might not be a social media thing. There are so many other things out there that are being done. So many businesses that have been created. Master that thing. And the way that you're going to master is you're going to keep working on it. just like you are with your communication, so you can reach and touch more people in your advertisement of whatever it is that you're doing. New things are rolling out every day in ways for us to communicate. So let's just work on that. All right? And again, you nor me know what chapter other people are in their life when you come into their life. So be careful how you treat them. All right? Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.